Crimean students' grades lowered for not writing thank you letters to Russian soldiers invading Ukraine.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russia has been forcing children and their teachers to produce letters to the soldiers committing war crimes since soon after its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Clockwise letters of gratitude Crimean children are supposed to send to the perpetrators of crimes like those that led to the mass graves in Mariupol, the bombing of an apartment block in Chasiv Yar, and the desperate flight under Russian fire from Irpin. The Crimean Discourse Initiative has learned of school students in Russian-occupied Crimea having their end-of-year grades reduced because they did not write letters thanking the soldiers fighting Russia's war against Ukraine. Such reprisals would be typical given the measures used since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine to force Ukrainian children on occupied territory to thank the soldiers killing other Ukrainians. By September 2022, the propaganda newspaper Crimean Izvestia was boasting of over 600 letters in support of the armed forces of the Russian Federation to the defenders of the fatherland in one district. In February 2023, the Crimean Tatar Resource Center posted a copy of a letter sent around to teachers which called on them to get students to draw pictures and write letters to Russians taking part in what the aggressor state insists on referring to euphemistically as its special military operation. While the number of possible charges has increased since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and a Ukrainian flag in the window can result in charges of discrediting the Russian army, there has been an effective, if not official, ban on public displays of both the Ukrainian and Crimean Tatar flags since almost immediately after Russia's invasion and annexation of Crimea.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than similar letters, written by children recruited into Russia's militaristic, youth army, Yanamia. Yeah, definitely sounds nothing like some other thing called the Hitler Youth.
Nah bro, it's just the Boy Scouts but with more violence and guns.
Well, less violence if you count sexual violence. Then again, this is Russia, so I would definitely not rule that out either.
This is forced Russification.
Not the first time. But tankies will foam at the mouth telling you how much USSR used to support the local languages. Russia was the same in the 19th century. Language ban in Lithuania, so we had to smuggle books. Same in 20th century, and exactly the same now. So, likely to be the same in the next century too unless we finally solve this issue.
Lithuania, Polish lands, as well as any other occupied lands they held in the 19th century.
Don't forget Latvia and Estonia.
I have to draw pictures with glorious Russian tank as a kid, so my parents weren't bullied in their jobs. But that was more than 30 years ago. I am so glad that this filth isn't in my country anymore. I will be more than happy to see liberated Ukraine one day.
I'm so sorry that happened to you. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I am from the Czech Republic. In 1968, Russians came to protect us from freedom and democracy, which found its way through Iron Curtain.
Ah, the Prague Spring. Motherfuckers, I'm an old bird, and I'm so goddamn sick of the fear of Russia. We had drills in school about what to do during nuclear war. Kentucky, USA here. My childhood was full of nightmares.
I was a child of the 80s and I feel like we were basically conditioned to expect complete annihilation before the turn of the century. The current generations are probably going through the same thing with climate change.
Hey, don't sell the current generation short. They're also expecting nuclear annihilation
and societal and economic collapse.
Climate change, nuclear annihilation and societal plus economic collapse is definitely in the minds of a lot of my generation, said, and it's absolutely insane that the world has gotten to this point. I have a child and though I don't regret him one bit, I wish he was brought into a world that actually gave a fuck. It's sad, and I absolutely hate it.
Thank you to all the invading Russian soldiers who have died. You have provided fertilizer for our next generation. Please continue to die. With love, Crimean everyone.
I like the fertilizer meme as much as anyone, but the amount of very fertile arable land and forests being ruined in Ukraine right now is a tragedy. It would take half a century at the very least to start to recover even without climate change.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.